Most advertisers right now are using the same AI tools, the same prompts, and producing the same forgettable content. And Meta's algorithm is punishing them for it. Because here's the thing, Meta's Andromeda update changed everything about how ads get matched to people. The brands that figured this out first, well, they're running 15 to 50 different creative approaches at once. Now, I'm gonna break down the 5 strategies that they're using and how you can build the system yourself. Now, if you're new here, this is the Foreplay channel, where we spend all day inside ad libraries studying what's working for the best brands in the world. We're trusted by over 10,000 social ad teams and agencies, from big brands like HelloFresh, AG1, and True Classic, to top agencies like VaynerMedia. Now, if you want to stay on top of what's working with digital ads, then make sure you subscribe to our channel. Now, what I'm about to show you is the exact playbook that we use at Foreplay to help brands produce the volume and variety of creative that Meta's algorithm now demands. And I'm going to show you inside the platform so you can see exactly how to set it up yourself. Now, I'm going to cover 5 strategies that are dominating Meta ads right now, and for each one I'll break down why it works and then show you how to build a workflow in Foreplay. So let's get into it. Now, strategy 1 is creative diversity and velocity. Meta's Andromeda update introduced retrieval models that are reportedly 10,000 times more complex than before. This means that the algorithm can now evaluate and match a massive volume of diverse ads to the right people with unprecedented precision. Now, this means that the old model is broken, and that model was find a winner, scale it until it fatigues, then scramble to find the next one. Now, the new model is completely different. You constantly feed diverse creative into the system, and the algorithm finds winners across different contexts and audiences automatically. Top advertisers are now running 15 to 50 genuinely different creative approaches, not 50 variations of the same ad, 50 different concepts. Now, one brand that we tracked produced nearly 300 net new concepts in a single month. So how do you actually produce this much variety without losing your mind? Well, let me show you inside Foreplay. Now, first, I'm going to use Spider to pull competitor ads. Spider automatically tracks any brand's ad library activity 24/7. Unlike the Facebook ad library where ads expire, Spider saves everything forever. I can see exactly what creatives a competitor is scaling, what they're testing, and how long each ad has been running. Now, what I'm looking for here is not ads to copy. I'm looking for creative angles. I want to identify 10 or more distinct approaches that they're using, social proof, problem agitation, comparison, UGC, founder-led, educational, and so on. Next, I'm going to organize these by archetype by using boards. I'll create separate boards for each creative style. One for social proof ads, one for problem agitation, one for UGC testimonials, one for founder content. Now, this becomes my creative diversity engine. Then I'll use Discovery to fill in the gaps. Discovery is a search engine with over 100 million ads saved by the Foreplay community. I can filter by format, platform, niche, and even how long ads have been running. So if I notice I don't have many comparison style ads saved, I'll just search for high performers in that format. Now, when I find an ad worth replicating, I use Briefs to turn it into a production-ready document with one click. The Foreplay AI writes the script, builds a storyboard, and I can just send it directly to creators to create the content. So that's strategy 1. You build a diversity engine by tracking competitors with Spider, organizing by archetype with boards, filling in the gaps with Discovery, and then turning inspiration into briefs. So let's talk about strategy 2 now, which is authenticity as a targeting variable. Now, here's the problem with AI creative right now. When everyone uses the same tools with similar prompts, you get a sea of sameness. Audiences can feel it, even if they can't articulate it. Everything just looks the same. It's just so much AI slop. And the research consistently shows that human-led creative judgment outperforms pure AI output when it comes to emotional resonance and distinctive brand voice. And that's just obvious right now. But here's the insight most people miss. Under Andromeda, authenticity is not just a brand value, it's actually a targeting signal. The algorithm matches raw human creative to users who respond to authenticity, and it matches polished studio creative to users who respond to production value. So if all your ads look the same, you're only reaching one type of person. Now, let me show you how to build this out in Foreplay. I'm going to create a few boards here, one called Raw and Authentic, one called Polish and Studio, and another one for AI generated. Now, as I save ads, I'm sorting them by feel. Like, does this ad feel human? Does it look like it was done in a studio or high quality content creation? Or does it feel like it was AI generated? Now, what you'll notice is that the raw ads tend to have imperfect lighting, natural speech patterns, real reactions, and like a documentary feel or like a social media feel. The polished ads have clean cuts, professional color grading, and smooth voiceovers, things like that. Now, by building multiple libraries, you can train your eye to recognize the difference if you can't already. But what's really great is that when you brief your creators, you can reference specific ads that nail the vibe that you want. So this is way more effective than writing "make it feel authentic" in a brief, right? You can just show them. Okay, so now strategy 3 is multimodal hooks, and this one's really interesting. The strategy is emerging and most advertisers haven't even caught on yet. Now, multimodal hooks are hooks that coordinate audio and visual elements together to maximize first-second impact. So why does this matter? Well, Meta's AI evaluates text, image, video, and audio all together. Hooks that work across all modalities give the algorithm more signals to work with. So just think about it this way. When someone scrolls with sound off, your visual and text have to carry the hook. When someone scrolls with sound on, your audio can also do some heavy lifting. Now, the best hooks work in both scenarios and use all three elements together when the sound is on. This is more important when people are on Reels and they generally have audio on. So anyways, here's the framework. For sound on viewers, your audio creates a pattern interrupt. Maybe someone saying wait or a sudden sound effect.
Have you seen this viral edit? This is how you can make it with just one tap.
And you want to make sure that your visual cuts are in sync with that audio and your text reinforces the message. Now, for sound off viewers, the same visual draws the attention and your text overlay carries the hook entirely. Now, here are the actual techniques that work here. You can have a word appear on screen exactly as it's spoken, which is pretty common now with auto captions. You can sync a sound effect with motion, which is super effective, and time product reveal to a music beat drop. You can also use voice pattern interrupts with a visual freeze. Now, in Foreplay, I build this by creating a board specifically for hooks. I call it hooks that stop the scroll. Now, when I save the ads in Foreplay, I'm paying attention to just the first 3 seconds, and then I'm gonna tag each by the hook type. So pattern interrupt, stat driven, curiosity, contrast, and whatever else. Then when I go to create the brief, I reference specific hooks from this library. Instead of telling a creator just, make a good hook, I actually just show them 5 examples of the exact hook style that I want them to replicate. Okay, now here's strategy 4, which is hybrid UGC and brand content. Okay, so here's what we're seeing across some top accounts here. It's a hybrid format where you blend raw UGC with polished brand elements, consistently outperforming pure UGC and pure studio content. Now, some advertisers report CPA improvements of 20 to 40%. So it's not a small improvement, that's actually a significant edge. And why does hybrid actually work? Well, pure UGC can feel amateur. The product isn't shown clearly and there's no real production value there. And then pure studio content feels like an ad, so people's defenses go up and they generally just scroll right past. So this hybrid gets the benefits of both. You get the trust and relatability of UGC combined with the clarity and polish of studio production. The structure is actually pretty simple. You want to open with raw UGC for the first 3 seconds. Have a real person in a real moment. Don't even do the AI generated UGC bullshit. People can tell.
I struggled keeping up with editing and creating content for my business. Then I started using the Captions app, and it made editing so easy that I was able to post every day.
But then you can cut to a polished product demo from seconds 3 to 8. This is where you clearly show what the product does.
Just import your clip, select a viral style, and it automatically applies edits that are specifically tailored to your script.
Then you want to return to the real person from seconds 8 to 15. And this is where they can share what it did for them.
The edits are so good. It's completely transformed my content and posts are taking off.
Then you can end with a CTA that can be either UGC or brand style. Doesn't really matter by that point.
Download Captions and try it for yourself.
Now in Foreplay, I built a hybrid format winners board where every time I see an ad that nails the structure, I just save it and tag it. Then when I'm briefing creators, I share this board as a reference and use briefs to create a template that spells out the structure. Open raw, product demo, back to person, CTA. Now this gives creators a clear framework while still letting them bring their own personality to it. Okay, the next strategy is personality-driven briefs. Now the shift here is pretty fundamental. We're going from make an ad for everyone to make an ad for this specific person. Now, the principle of riches in the niches has never been more true than with Meta right now. And here's why Andromeda rewards this. A generic ad gets matched to a generic audience. A specific ad gets matched to specific audiences who actually resonate with those specifics. It makes so much sense. Now, the algorithm uses those variations to find completely different audience pockets for that content. Now, for this reason, I will build boards by persona. So if you have multiple personas for your product or service, you might want to create multiple boards, and then you can save ads that speak directly to each persona's pain point. Then you can use briefs to create persona-specific briefs. I define the persona, their specific hook angle, and their pain point. Then I generate 3 to 5 different briefs for that same product, one per persona. So this is how you can turn one product into a creative engine that speaks to everyone who might buy it. Okay, so now you have the playbook, but here's the thing. All of this depends on actually having a library of inspiration to pull from. So if you're still screenshotting ads and losing them in random folders or Notion pages or Google Docs or whatever, or you're clicking on Facebook ad library links that are already dead, then you're making this way harder than it needs to be. So I made a full walkthrough showing you how to save ads from the Facebook ad library, TikTok ad library, LinkedIn, Instagram, and so much more. It's just a one-click save, and then everything is organized in Foreplay. So watch that one next. You can actually start building the swipe files I talked about in this strategy video. So click right here on the screen to go to that video, or if it doesn't show up on screen, go down to the link in the description, and then I'll see you in that next video.